Oh, well, I was going to say I've sat down, but I'm just perched on the arm of the sofa. As my mother would say, I don't know when to stop. Well, she was the one who had 11 children, not me. But I have been on the go, since early this morning. I woke up at 7 and I thought, well, I'll just put my dressing gown on, get myself a cup of tea and then go back to bed, which I did for all of 15 minutes. But the intention was there, and that's the main thing. Jack, His Royal Highness, the Duke of Bealtaine, has been lounging about on his bed over there. I mean, he's kind of got up from his bed and come over here now because he hears me talking and I've got the camera, so he thinks, I'd better pose. So, I'll show you what I've been doing now in a moment. I've got Lyric FM on for the boy because, you know, he just loves a bit of classical music. I've got some post over there perched on the end of the dresser, so I've got to take that over to the post office, which I will be doing shortly once I clean my face, and I might even put a bit of lippy on. So, what have I been doing? Do you know, I'd have to actually keep a running tag on what I've been doing. So when I got up this morning and came through here to make my cup of tea, I put on the light and I looked at the little curtains, which are not there now because I've taken them down, and I thought, every time I look at those dusty old curtains, I'm minded to make some new curtains. So that's precisely what I've done. I've made 2 new curtains out of some blue and white gingham, and I think they look rather nice. So then I thought, hang on, I'm going to sit down here because I want to explain this. Just thinking. Quite a few people have said to me in comments over the past wee while, how do you dust all that? How do you keep it all clean? The secret is, don't dust. Don't dust. Don't start dusting, because once you start, it's like some downward spiral into the abyss that is boring housework. So I started. Well, I mean, I had nothing better to do on a Friday than to get stuck into some dusting, which was not my intention, but anyway, one thing led to another. You know the excuse that we all make. One thing led to another, and before I knew it, I was up to my armpits in dusters and polish, and so made the new curtains, hung them. Looked at the windowsill over there and thought, oh gosh. So I took everything off the windowsill and I washed it all down, and then I washed the little walls either side of the window because I accidentally kind of put the sponge on the wall, and lo and behold, it was a different colour. So I thought, okay, I better do the walls as well. Because having a stove and burning candles and oil lamps and things, the walls get filthy. So then I moved over to this windowsill over here and I did the same thing. And now I stopped at cleaning the windows, although I did clean the little stained glass. I stopped at that because I thought if I start cleaning the windows, I'll have to do all of them. So anyway, proceeding on then, this cupboard door won't close properly, so when I'm over posting my books and stuff, I will have to call into the hardware shop and get a wee hook or something for that door. I still haven't fixed the back door since I had to bust it open. That must be a couple of months ago now. So I've got to get that fixed today and buy a bolt for the top. because this is silly, you know. People say to me, "Are you not frightened living alone?" Oh God, I just don't get the time. I don't get the time to be frightened. So, okay, and I go here. Jack's following me around. I mean, he's ignored me all day. He's just been laid in there listening to, you know, various classical pieces. Look at the little birds on the bird feeders out there. Now, I've got to fill those up, but I'll do that in the morning. So, my sewing machine. I did switch it off, didn't I? I did. Oh yeah, bang the door, Jack. Then I was tidying up a little bit in here as well. You can see I've moved things around just a tad. Oh, no, whilst I'm on my feet. Come on, Jack. So I also emptied my compost toilet and got some more shreddings. Now, I've had a lot of questions about the shredder. Can we see you doing some shredding? Well, you know, I've only got two hands, so no, you can't. Because I'm not holding a camera and trying to do shredding at the same time. That's just a bridge too far. So I'm going to show you the shredder. Jack dashes out. You've been for a walk today. Don't try and trick me. So, and I've also been outside, of course. I mean, look at the state of my coat there. Can you see? It's all covered in mud. It's drying on there. This is my shredder, which is well and truly very dusty. It was one of those from, just a wee electric one, from Lidl. I think it was from Lidl. Originally, I actually bought it second hand. And so these are the shreddings, okay? So I put the conifers through the shredder, you see, and it absolutely smells divine. So that's what I use on my compost or compost toilet. And oh yeah, I noticed in here in this old bale of straw there's a little mouse living in there. He was peeking out at me earlier when I was in the barn here. So notice a few little flies around. This is quite common in the west of Ireland, you know, because the winters can be quite mild. It kind of dips in and out. Now, it's continually kind of wet over the winter. That's the way it's always been. But the winters can be quite mild, and when they're mild, then you get little flies flitting about. And I've been tidying up round here as well, pulling up quite a lot of the crocosmia and literally just throwing it around the place because those wee corms root very easily, and that's how I spread plants and spread various beautiful things around. So, gosh, I'm beginning to flag now. I'm beginning to feel a bit knackered. But work is good, and it's great to make the most of the daylight hours because, of course, we're a bit short on daylight now. We're literally descending now towards Yule, towards midwinter. And again, someone said to me, oh, our winter doesn't start until the 21st of December. And I thought, okay, that's a bit weird, because the 21st of December is the solstice. That's midwinter. You have to think about this, because you see, we've been told some terrible porkies down through the centuries about everything. And I mean everything, okay? Life, death and beyond. But the thing that's staringly obvious is this thing about midsummer and midwinter. Midsummer is the 21st of June. And it's the longest day of the year. Midwinter is the 21st of December. And that's the shortest day of the year. And midwinter is when Yule begins. Yule actually begins on the very point of midwinter, on the very point of the solstice, and continues through until the 1st of January. It's 12 days in total. And of course, anyone who's read Shakespeare will have knowledge of this being referred to. I mean, one of the beautiful aspects of is it called or what was the play where the Lord of Misrule featured, and it was about the winter. I can't think just offhand. A Winter's Tale. No, that was something else. Anyway, so the Lord of Misrule is part of those beautiful Yuletide celebrations. And the Lord of Misrule really was a chance for those who served the king and served the royal household to have a bit of an old party. And the Lord of Misrule meant that everything was misruled. So the kind of everyday traditions and everyday courtesies were kind of dropped for that time. But I'm sort of half listening to this beautiful music. So, I'm going to pop into town after I post my post, and I'll upload this video at that point. And I've got to say thank you to Carol. Elizabeth Carroll, you've sent me a lovely card. And also, I've got a beautiful book on trees. Let me see now. I'm trying to do this one-handedly. It's almost impossible. See, this is why I get things backing up on me. Mary Pulford. Thank you, Mary Pulford. Beautiful book on trees. So, there we go. Now I need to get my feet into gear and get going. So blessings to you all. And that's just a little bit of what I do over the course of a morning. I still haven't got down to Ardcarn Garden Centre. This is getting ridiculous. And now my weekend is going to be very busy because I've got commitments tomorrow and Sunday. So blessings to you all.